Let's talk about Neymar's ex-teammate, Lionel Messi. Another contract close to running out. That of Lionel Messi sounds more dramatic than it really is because there is optimism surrounding a possible contract extension with Inter Miami as he joined the MLS side in 2023. His contract is set to expire at the end of the year. So when it comes to the 37-year-old, obviously their hope, Inter Miami's hope, is to have him for the Miami Freedom Park that's set to debut in the 2026 season. Cause for alarm about the contract extension? Seems to be a done deal, Herc?
Oh, I think it's a done deal. I think you can obviously see that Lionel Messi has enjoyed his time in America, has enjoyed his time in Miami. We've all been to Miami. I've seen Shaq in Miami. It's a place where you enjoy yourself. So, nothing of a surprise here from Messi's camp wanting to stay. I think it's imperative.
Yeah.
I think it's imperative that Major League Soccer, forget Inter Miami. I think it's imperative that Major League Soccer extend Messi. For Inter Miami, the opening of a brand new stadium with your biggest star, it's going to give it that buzz. You need that for that hard launch. You absolutely must have it. But for Major League Soccer, and for those of you who have not been paying attention, Major League Soccer is behind a paywall that is behind another paywall. And yes, many are going to be like, well, what about ESPN Plus? What about CBS? What about? That is tried and true. That's fine. That is not a linear product. That is not a big network like the rest when it comes to sports. And it's out of sight, out of mind. And they went into what I would call one of the worst TV deals in the history of professional sports. They took $2.5 billion from Apple to produce their own games. For those of you who don't know about television production, there goes half your cost. So they're essentially not making too much. And then the MLS folks are producing their own games. They're paying their own talents. These people don't work for Apple, they work for Major League Soccer. So now you have in itself another problem there. Unless you're driving down the I-5 in Los Angeles or the 110 or the 5 in Washington, Seattle, you don't know these games are going on. You don't turn on Fox and see programming talking about these games. You don't turn on ESPN and see Sports Center with a promo about this weekend's El Clásico. You don't see TUDN interviewing Joseph Martinez like he was in his Atlanta United days. You're out of sight, out of mind. And the only time the rest of the world gets to actually see you is when it's talking about Lionel Messi, is when there's a Messi highlight. So it's your chance to exist outside this little vacuum that you created for yourself. And he is the biggest player, the most important player, the most important piece of Major League Soccer's puzzle in their history, and you can't let it go to waste like this. It is imperative that you sign him. It's imperative that you keep up the momentum heading into the 2026 World Cup and beyond. This version of Messi still plays. You need to capitalize on that. You need to have the rest of the world see it, and you need Major League Soccer to shine for it. It's imperative that they sign him.
And to that point, while yes, absolutely, you only generally see discussion around Major League Soccer when there's a Lionel Messi highlight. Thankfully, there's a Lionel Messi highlight every single week, and that keeps Major League Soccer
even when he doesn't play, it's
even when he doesn't play, or somehow it's news, and that keeps Major League Soccer front of mind when talking about the domestic game. For me, it's a foregone conclusion that Lionel Messi will extend. To Hug's point, he's happy where he is. My experiences in Miami are very professional and ESPN related, so I can't comment on his otherwise attractions. But I would also say that this is not just a Miami thing. Every single team in the league is chipping in.
Oh yes.
If Lionel Messi is threatening to walk away, every single team is asking, what can we do to make sure you stay in Miami? Because his presence, while in Miami and playing for Inter Miami Football Club, his presence is absolutely pivotal for every single other team in this league. It's a talking point, but I don't think it's a stumbling point.
Last week, they played in Chicago. They sold out Soldier Field.
Yeah.
The year before that, they played in Chicago. They sold out Soldier Field versus Inter Miami. Messi didn't even show up. He wasn't even there. Vancouver, the same thing. They're taking the Columbus Crew this weekend to Cleveland. Would they take it to Cleveland if Messi wasn't in the league? No. They're not trying to grow the game. They're trying to capitalize on Messi. So, yes, capitalize on Messi, but it's imperative that you do it because Messi's not forever. Enjoy him while you can, people. You're watching a once, not in a generation, a once-in-a-lifetime athlete that's doing his magic in your country today, in multiple countries, in CONCACAF, so enjoy him. And if you're Major League Soccer, you have to capitalize off of this. And to Shaq's point, everybody in Major League Soccer has to make sure this happens.
Yeah, it's a short plan. We don't know if it's a 3-year plan. We don't know if it's a 5-year plan because he's 37. He's not going to be there forever. We saw Cristiano Ronaldo just signed until he was going to be 42 years old. But maybe that won't be the case for Lionel Messi.
If they're smart, they'll capitalize in the way they did with David Beckham, and they will have him in future ownership where he's out in front of the cameras. If they're smart, they make this happen that way where he's still very much a prominent face for Major League Soccer.
Yeah, absolutely. And him staying